are you? I've already prepped my face with Chiseled Face pre-shave gel. And my razor is going to be this Global Shave Club Sumatra 3-piece razor. And my soap is going to be this. It is Panta Rei Zammu shaving soap, which is made by Shan Feng Sing. And it is a nice licorice scent overall. My brush is going to be this Omega Pro 10098 boar brush, which I've already lathered up. And I went ahead and lathered. I got a little scoop, little cosmetic scoop full of soap, and I put it in the Timeless Razor shaving bowl. And I'm going to try to wet the brush here and get a lather started. I'll just wet the tips of the brush here a little bit in the sink. Oh, that's probably more than enough. I'll try to get a lather started. I hope you're doing well out there. Oh, and incidentally, my blade in my razor is going to be one of these Personna Lab Blue blades on its first use. So hopefully this will all work out well. It was great the first time I used this soap. I just got it the other day. Try to get a nice lather going. Might get just a little bit more water on the brush here. Again, just on the tips of the brush. I have kind of a slow draining sink right now. And the maintenance man is only coming into apartments for emergencies. A slow drain is not a major issue right now. It's not really so much that the drain is clogged, it's that I'm having trouble with that little built-in stopper there. But, okay, it's not too bad a lather. I'll get started shaving. I'll set the brush aside down here, wet the razor. Okay, we'll get started for the first pass, which will be with the grain. Here we go. I'm using kind of a light touch because this is a somewhat aggressive razor. It's not a terribly aggressive razor, but this is only my second time shaving with it, and I found it a little bit aggressive the first time. All right. Well, what's going on in everyone else's world out there? For the most part, it's been pretty quiet here. I got some sun today, but I was wearing a build cap, and it was later in the afternoon when the sun was not at such a direct angle. So, I don't know, I guess my face doesn't look too red. Although, if I'm not careful when I shave, it could get red. Just bending down to pick something up makes my face red. I guess all the blood rushes to my face. I'll be right back. I had a very odd thing happen when I purchased this razor. I wish I would have purchased it directly from the Global Shave website. I purchased it on eBay, and I saw it listed, I think for its normal list price of $13 and change, I believe. But when I ordered it, the price suddenly went up to $79 and change. Well, I spoke to the vendor about it, and he used to have a link that went directly to the website, and more on that later, I guess. But well, I contacted the vendor and he refunded me the difference in price, but it also said on there that the postage was supposed to be free, but I got charged like $10 postage. He or she, whoever the vendor was, said that they would return that, and they never got back to me about refunding the postage. Instead, they sent me 6 of these things. And, you know, I guess I can't complain. I didn't give them a bad review on eBay because of that, but I ended up giving the other 5 away to people that wanted them. People around here, I mean. Some gentlemen that I had gotten into this type of shaving, and a couple of ladies wanted them too. And I kept this one. So I saw this thing on eBay is now going for $79 and change if you go to the Global Shave Club website like I did just a few minutes ago. Right now they're on sale for like $9.99 instead of the regular $13 whatever purchase price. Excuse me. Strange days indeed. Most peculiar, Mama, to quote John Lennon. I don't know what to think about that. I guess if they send you 6 of something you wanted, maybe that's not a bad thing. Whoever that vendor was, I don't know if they hoped I wouldn't catch that change in price, or I'm not sure. Or did they just make a mistake, or what's going on there? I honestly don't know. And it didn't say that for that higher price that you got 6 razors. I don't recall seeing that anywhere on there. So I don't know. So I got the difference in price refunded. Didn't get the postage refunded, but I got 6 of these razors instead of just 1. And me being an ostensibly nice guy, by my own standards, I guess, I gave the other 5 razors away. Okay, that's the first pass done. I'll pop out, pop back in, come to you freshly lathered for a second pass across the grain. Well, it's time for a second pass across the grain here. Now, the soap, which I'll show you again, very nice stuff. I got it from West Coast Shaving. They're one of the sources for this, probably the only U.S. source. And, well, it's very nice stuff. Nice licorice scent, which it took me a minute to know what I was smelling. That happened with another licorice scented soap I have that I used on this channel once, and it embarrassed me so much that I guess unless I have a piece of licorice in my hand and I smell that anise scent, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the stuff that's in licorice that gives it its scent and smell, well, unless I have a piece of licorice right there, some kind of licorice candy, I guess I'll smell something that's supposed to smell like licorice, and does, like this soap and the other soap, but for some reason, I can't make it out right away. I can't make out what the scent's supposed to be. That other soap, I just remember thinking it smelled to me like a very sweet bay rum soap, because the word licorice wasn't registering in my nasal vocabulary, I guess, my olfactory lexicon, if you will, if you prefer. So the vendor of that soap had to tell me, that other soap, hey, that's supposed to be licorice. And it does smell like licorice. So did this, but I was done shaving with it, and I was still smelling that scent on me, and all of a sudden I was like, that's licorice. That's what that scent is. I just remember a very nice scent that could have been, to me, some kind of sweet bay rum with something else added that I couldn't quite, I don't know. It's like the first time I used tobacco. I couldn't smell the tobacco scent that's supposed to be in it. I know it was a very pleasant scent to me, and I figured with a name like tobacco, I was like, gee, I think that's German for tobacco or something similar, and something tobacco-like as far as its scent goes. And it really wasn't until I used, I believe it was the aftershave balm, the tobacco, the regular or the original tobacco aftershave balm, that I could smell in that I could definitely smell, I thought, the tobacco scent. And then after that I could also smell it, finally recognize it in the soap and in the aftershave or eau de toilette or cologne or whatever I have also. Well, excuse me. So when I told you I have an unsophisticated nose, I guess that was an understatement. My nose, I guess it does recognize more ordinary scents, but maybe it's because licorice was something, it was a candy I did not always eat as a child. It was something I only had every once in a while. Not that licorice is terribly expensive, but it was kind of a special treat. And I think my mom kept it in her purse, and she didn't like me raiding her purse, but sometimes I would look in there because she would sometimes keep licorice or hard candy or, oh, some of those soft candies that look like orange slices, or other times she'd have malted milk balls or even a zero candy bar in there, the kind with the nougat covered by white chocolate. And I told my mom, I said, well, I'm not raiding your purse because I want your money, I want your candy. And she would usually give in and let me have the candy. Well, excuse me a moment while I rinse the razor again. I learned early on, I think, that adults like my mom, who liked to watch her weight and did have a very successful weight loss at one point when I was younger, she would actually sometimes think I was doing her a favor by eating her sweets, because she felt that if she ate those, she would just start getting heavy again, which she never really did, but that's probably partly how she kept from getting heavy. I'm going to switch over to this other hand, because sometimes when I do that, especially during this pass on my neck, sometimes I get a better shave over here, especially over here, over there's some trouble spots. I have the same trouble spots over here, but they tend to be more untenable over on this side. Very hard to get to go BBS. Maybe because this is my non-dominant hand, maybe I use a lighter touch over here, I don't know. I'll move over to the other side. It's pretty warm in here. I think that's sometimes makes the soap dissipate a little bit if I don't get right to shaving it. This is not a soap that I would say ordinarily dissipates on your face, but it's pretty warm in here. I guess I could open the door a little bit, but at one time or another I've already revealed what you can see out there. You just see my tiny little kitchen in the background. Or maybe I'll just open the door for a moment while I re-lather here. I'm going to pop out, re-lather off camera again just to save time, and I'll be back for a third pass against the grain. Okay, I'm back for a third pass against the grain. I'll start on my neck this time. Must remember to use that light touch with this razor. I don't know if you can see on that side, but there's a bit of a blade gap there. It's not huge. And they tried to design this thing so that that wouldn't be a major problem, but I'm somewhat of a baby face, and so the more aggressive a razor is, the more I must use a lighter touch if I remember to, and not go putting too much pressure on my face with the razor, excuse me, in order to hopefully avoid irritation. Never mind that my face and neck, especially my neck, I think, are easily irritated. I have somewhat sensitive skin. I think I also had a little weeper down here, perhaps. Thought I did. Okay. I've been watching some TV programs. A lot of them are old TV programs, and some are YouTube videos, where I guess you could say there's a lot of I'm pronouncing it wrong, Schadenfreude involved. Schadenfreude being a German word which means enjoying the suffering of others. And I think it's supposed to refer to enjoying the suffering of others who have wronged you in real life, but I can't think of anyone recently that has wronged me in real life, but I'm watching the suffering of others. Oh well, I don't need to rinse yet. I got another side to the razor here. Yeah, I guess for lack of better words, shows where real bad guys and bad girls get their comeuppance one way or another. True crime shows, and then the network TV, the old network TV, To Catch a Predator, Dateline To Catch a Predator videos, basically reruns of that program from the 2000s, and the British equivalents of those, and the Australian equivalents of those, and then these self-styled predator catchers, often young men, and their crew of people that invite creeps to malls and then shame them and possibly get them arrested. Excuse me. Or on the regular true crime shows that don't deal with those kind of creeps per se, you have men or women who have killed somebody, and most of the time they get caught. So I guess it's supposed to be hard to feel any pity for any of these people, I guess. But my friend Dave used to think I was a bit of a ghoul for the television and internet fare that I watched. He also he was underwhelmed and not impressed with the fact that I will also watch videos by chiropractors, because I love to hear people's bones cracking. Not that I'm some kind of ghoul or spook or whatever, but because that often, more often than not, 99% of the time, doesn't hurt the patient, not even temporarily. In fact, it makes them feel better, often right away. You know, like if you have your neck or your back cracked, it often feels better right away. Well, that's the third pass done. So far, so good. I'm going to pop away again. I'll come back and then we'll have pickups. Couple of things here. First of all, it's pickup time. There's your pickup time clock letting you know that it's that time, folks. Yay, pickup time. And the other thing was, it might have gone away now. I got a couple of little weepers up here. I just kind of wiped my finger. I think you can still maybe see one. I had some blood up here. It didn't seem like anything major, like something that the cold water rinse afterwards might take care of. But let me go ahead and start on some pickups here. Or touch-ups. Pickups, touch-ups. I think here in this country, we would just call them, in American English, we might call them touch-ups. But I think on the other side of the pond, Paul H. refers to this part of the shave as pickups, and that kind of caught on. So a lot of us, even in this country, will say pickups. It's pickup time, baby. And I must remember to use a light touch. Now I see a little bleeding going on there again, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. It is so easy when shaving under the nose, especially against the grain. I think that's what I did. I hope I did that when I was supposed to in the against the grain pass. I think I must have, considering that I got weepers under the nose, above the lip. And that's very easy to do with a razor that is at all aggressive. And these blades, while they're not as sharp as feathers, they can be sharp enough. I see little weepers here and there, I think I do. Let me see. You know, that's pretty good. I don't think I need to go over that again. That is, boy, I think we're looking at BBS here, folks. There might be just one little patch over here that could be touched up a little bit. And I guess I can always find something in here, some feedback, but it feels so good. I have to pull the skin really taut over here to find maybe something else I could make more perfect. But the initial feel around on this was that the trouble spots had been taken down quite a bit anyway. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to pop out. I'm going to rinse the razor, rinse the brush, rinse my face and the bowl, and I'll come back. I'll use the towel over here, Mr. Towel as I call him, to dry my face, and then I'll begin some brief recaps and put the finishing touches on the shave. Here's our good friend Mr. Towel to help us out here. Get the face dried off. Ooh. Ah. This part of the shave always feels so nice. Maybe because Mr. Towel's so soft, and for the most part, I've gotten my face pretty well shaven. I think I hear a little feedback here and there, not too bad. Well, I began off camera beforehand by prepping my face with the Chiseled Face Natural Pre-Shave Gel. And my razor has been this 3-piece, the Sumatra razor from Global Shave Clubs. And there is a little bit of overhang of which to be aware, and kind of a fairly good sized gap there, fairly aggressive. My blade was one of these on its first use, a Personna Lab Blue blade. And my soap, made for Panta Rei, which they make lovely brushes and bowls and I guess scuttles and things over in Italy. The Zammu, which smells a lot like licorice. That's pretty much its base note, I guess. Very nice stuff. I used it like a cream. I dabbed a little bit out and put it in the Timeless Razor shaving bowl. And my brush, and it is kind of made like some of the solid creams. Maybe you could call it a crope or something, I'm not sure. My brush was the Omega. You may not be able to see it, but it's in relief right there, the Omega logo. The 10098 boar brush, which they call a pro brush, one of their pro brushes. And let's see, I hope I didn't forget anything there, so I'm going to go ahead now and apply some of the TN Dickinson's Witch Hazel to my face. So I'll pop that open. Oops, try not to drop it all over. Kind of get a little bit of that going in my hand, and ooh, yeah, fairly close shave. And even though I was for the most part trying to take it easy and use a light touch, there was quite a bit of sting there. And this Witch Hazel, being it's an astringent, is 14% alcohol by volume. I think all of your major Witch Hazels that are astringents have 14% alcohol, or they all seem to anyway. Every one I've ever used. Doesn't mean there wouldn't be some variants, maybe on the brands I hadn't used. So once again, that's the TN Dickinson's Witch Hazel. Very nice. That's available in a lot of your stores, your big box stores and supermarkets. Well, next, maybe to go along with the licorice, since I don't have any of the matching, if there is a matching aftershave to that, I'm going to use some Old Spice. So we'll have kind of a licorice and spice scent going on here, I hope. So last time I used a dollar store, a Family Dollar store equivalent to this, which some say smells more like the original Old Spice than this, but this time I'll use this because it's in the classy bottle. It costs about the same. I might have gotten it at the same store. And let's see. And a little bit on the wrists. I almost forgot that. A little on the wrists. And then slap her on the face and neck. Yeah, I'm feeling the burn there. But I can handle it. And this time anyway, it feels good. Because I know that that's the alcohol in that, also in that aftershave doing its job. It's being an astringent, and it's also hopefully killing some germs. So that's the Old Spice there. Finally, if I don't knock everything off over here, I need more shelving and more counter space in here. I'm going to finish up with the Nivea Men Original Post-Shave Balm. And I'm right at 30 minutes right now, so I'm going to have to cut some of this out. So, here we go. I want to thank you all for being here for yet another video. I appreciate your support. I've got a sort of a core following of you guys that I can never really give you the appreciation you deserve, because you've helped this channel an awful lot by sticking around, and evidently you believe in me and I entertain you or inform you well enough, I hope. I'll try to make this channel better as I go, which is what I've been trying to do, but I gotta get out of here. I'm running over. Thank you. Keep it cool, and peace.